I'm Legend, I play this game professionally, so I can probably hit rank 1. Okay, so the first game of the day is against a mage. We're gonna keep Spirit Poacher and Posic because they're really good cards on tempo, and we're gonna get rid of the Speaker Stomper because it's more useful in the later stages of the game. And Aloran is very nice to have because it is literally our only turn 5 play, and it is a lot of tempo, which is really, really good. So in turn 1, they play Flame Geyser, which is very similar to what I like to do, and for my turn 2, I'm just gonna play Spirit Poacher because it's the best turn 2 play. They play Prismatic Elemental, they top deck it, it's a pretty good top deck, they're able to discover something, and hopefully it won't come back to bite me in the butt later. I mean, turn 3, I really have nothing else to do, so I play Zombies here, and I just pass, and I'm hoping that they're Prismatic. What the fuck? Stars align? Okay, well, this is gonna be a really interesting game, not like a lot of other mage games, so I'm actually pretty excited right now. They play a 4-3, it dies to the zombies, which is pretty nice. It leaves me with a 1-1 as well. Then I play Posic because it's a little bit of hand disruption and a 4-4 on the board. Everybody remember when this used to be a 5-4? That was broken. Anyway, he doesn't end up playing any, He doesn't end up playing any of the 3-3s, which makes me a little bit curious. Do I want to possibly trade in a way that makes Posic die? I hope it doesn't actually happen. I mean, it came close, got it down to 1. It was like a 33% chance. It's fine. I'd take that chance every day. So going into turn 6, it looks like we're probably gonna play Agrimar. They play an Audio Bot, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they still have one in their deck. Posic is basically guaranteed to die next turn, so pretty happy about that. Anyway, we're probably gonna play Agrimar next turn because he's just really, really good, and then Lorthamar unless we draw something different, something that's better on those turns. Astalor's a little bit interesting. We could possibly use his battle cry to kill something off. We want to kill off the taunt minions before hitting in with the 4-1, so that way we are able to play the Agrimar and then hit one of their minions with a weapon. We actually go for a card draw here, and we decide to go face because we're running out of resources. A lot of the cards in my hand are quite expensive, and yes, Astalor does do very well against Solid Alibi, excuse me. We still want to get more tempo plays, especially after playing Lorthamar, so we can draw a couple of bigger minions. They play Solid Alibi, this is pre-nerf by the way, and then they play Volume Up to draw a bunch of cards. Now, I'm a little bit bummed because the stag is going to come alive and destroy my weapon, which is a bit unfortunate, but here's a little thing. Agrimar buffs up your weapon, literally regardless of what weapon it is. So when the stag comes alive and gives me a new weapon, I can give it +2 attack, and then it'll actually have 2 durability of that +2 attack. So if you can line it up perfectly, it can actually be better in some niche instances to have your weapon die on the last hit, just for some damage. They play another Solid Alibi after I play the Speaker Stomper. I was gonna say Audio Stomper, but that wouldn't make sense, which is very, very nice for us because it means that their turn is a little bit slow. They end up playing that weird Naga that allows them to double activate spells, and at this point, I'm a little bit worried. I'm thinking, okay, it might be possible for them to OTK me right now. I mean, Arcane Bolt could potentially go off twice. I hit him in the face with the damage because I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm at this point, I'm panicking, right? I think every point of damage matters. They have another Solid Alibi, and they didn't kill me this turn, which is nice. But I'm thinking, okay, if they don't kill me this turn, they might kill me next turn, so that 1 damage next turn might matter. We have Astalor, which is nice, but they've already played most of their Solid Alibi, so I don't really care. They discover a couple of spells, and again, I don't really care. That doesn't affect me. They either OTK me in a turn or they don't. So we trade that big card away, hoping for something else. I was hoping for a Hollow Hound. We trade in a little bit so that way we can kill off some of our minions, make a little bit of space because, well, Solid Alibi keeps them from taking damage anyway, and I'm thinking about maybe playing Sir Finley here to get Hollow Hound, but I'm like, no, I have Astalor in my hand, it's just way too valuable. If they play Solid Alibi again next turn somehow, my god, we should be able to still kill them. They play Command and Epsilon, gain some armor, kill off some of my minions, and again, they're still not able to kill me. And now they're overloaded next turn, which means they probably can't kill me next turn either. And at this point, I'm thinking there's gotta be a way I get lethal here, right? I've got 2 observers, I got a bunch of the 4-1s, and I've got King Crush. Unfortunately, King Crush is gonna cost the full amount. I'm not gonna cheat him out with like Faithful Companions, so I just don't think the math adds up here. But I do think about it for a while. And in the end, I play Observer of Myths. I should have probably played the one attack one first for a little bit more pumps, but that's my bad. We kill off the armor generating card, and we just go face with Lorthamar to do damage. Again, we don't want them to gain armor. I'm hoping they don't have another solid alibi, because they've already played both of their normal ones and their randomly discovered one. And at this point, we were just trying to develop a big enough board to kill them next turn if they don't OTK me this turn. Also, again, Astalor for solid alibi does make it still kind of winnable. They Molten Ruin me. They're trying to find something to win themselves the game, but they don't do it. They concede and I win. So the next game is against a Death Knight, and we're going to just keep the Titanforge traps. The other cards aren't great. Bananas is okay if you have a 1-drop in your hand, but if you don't have a 1-drop in your hand, then it's just kind of a dead card. I really like having Arelon in my hand, especially because I can coin him out turn 4. I said he was a great turn 5 play. He's an even better turn 4 play. He plays a Body Bagger turn 1, which is fine. I don't really mind. I mean, they don't have that many 1-drops. Kind of unlucky they had it here. We play Trinket Tracker and end up drawing Awakening Tremors, which actually opens up a potentially very aggressive strategy for me. The way you beat Death Knight is 2 ways, at least Blood Death Knight is 2 ways. First of all, we're gonna forge the Titan Forge traps because we're going for game plan number 2, which is a value OTK at the end with King Crush. But the other way you can win is if you just have a very good start and they don't have a good start. We're gonna take Cat Trick here because I want an extra minion, and I think about Freezing Trap for a second because I want to delay them, but in the end, I'm pretty sure that Zombies is just better. It can kill the next minion they play. It's pretty nice. And then we play Costume Singer to draw a card because drawing cards is pretty nice. Overall, the 2 ways you beat them is aggroing them down early if you have an insane start and they have a bad start. Since they had a turn 1 play and then my turn 1 play wasn't that good, I decided to go for the more value-centric style, which is relying on King Crush, Lorthamar, and Faithful Companions for a 32 damage combo along with your hero power, so 34 damage combo. So that's the strategy that I'm currently going for. They play another Chill Fallen Baron. I killed it with the bees, which is nice. They did immediately draw an extra card, which isn't great. Then they play Blood Tap, and I'm worried because what if they have the Gnome Muncher, I believe it's called. That's going to be a very difficult thing to deal with, especially considering it could heal them up a ton. Turn 5 is a little awkward because we coined out our Arelon, and I think maybe it would have been better to coin out Lorthamar on 6 because I didn't really have a good turn 6 play, but I decided to still coin out Arelon because he's really good tempo. Hidden Meaning gets me the Enchanter. No, it doesn't. That's not the meaning I was thinking it was. But anyway, does 3 damage to the Gnome Muncher and makes it a little bit easier to kill. We use the Trinket Tracker and we're hoping for bananas. And thank God we get it, because if we didn't get bananas, it would have been very difficult to deal with that 7-5. We end up playing a Secret and then getting a couple of extra 1-drops. Tail play against a Patchwork. You know, we have Lorthamar in our hand and Hydrolodon. They end up playing Patchwork too, which is fantastic for me because I played around it. And then we end up getting the Razor Leaf, which is totally useless. Like, what the fuck? It gives me a card that can't attack from Hidden Meaning. Super big low roll, but nothing I can do about it now. I do kind of get unlucky losing a Hollow Hound and not one of the 4 ones, because that's why I put them into my hand in the first place, to play around Patchwork. But there's nothing I could do about it. I played the odds the best I could. Now we're in a little bit of a sticky situation because I'm gonna have to hit their 6-1 with my face, but because it's a Blood Death Knight and they're not going to like burst me down or anything, I realize that it probably isn't that big of a deal. It's not like they're gonna OTK me, right? Like, Blood Death Knight can't do anything like that. They play Astalor to hit my 5-5, then they play Hollow Hound to kill the other one, and at this point, both Hollow Hounds are gone and a Patchwork, and I'm pretty okay with this situation. We trade in a little bit, and then we're gonna play 2 2-mana 4/4s, which is just good value. Hero power them, and like I said, try to get them below 34 HP. If we can get them below 34 HP, it's great. We're flooding the board with everything we can, so hopefully at least 1 to 2 minions live so we can get that last little bit of damage, because again, 34 HP is how much we can do. Technically, we can do 35, because I have a banana in my hand, and I do forget about that, but every point of damage will matter. We end up needing both the 4/4 and the Cat Trick to live there, which I completely forgot about, by the way, because it hadn't triggered for the past like 6 turns. But without that extra Cat Trick, we would have been 1 damage short because they ended up going to -3. So I would have been a little bit short there. So to start things off, we're against another Death Knight, and again, I don't like keeping bananas if I don't have a 1-drop in my hand, but I do like Wild Spirits, especially with the coin, because worst case scenario, I can coin it out turn 2. It's not great, but it is at least passable, and we do end up drawing a 1-drop, the Trinket Tracker, and once again, they have a 1-drop minion. They hero power kill my Trinket Tracker, which is unfortunate. Turn 2, instead of wasting the coin, I end up just playing the zombies to try to kill the Chill Fallen Baron again, which I end up hitting, by the way, and I have 2 1-drops on the board, which is great because I have bananas in my hand. Unfortunately, I don't think I play the bananas because the Wild Spirits is just too valuable of a play, but having minions on the board, first of all, helps with the discoverer of myths because more things could possibly get pumped, and having a minion on the board does help with the bananas. I play Trinket Tracker to draw more cards, I get Awakening Tremors, and at this point I realize my win condition might actually be trying to rush them down. In the previous video we saw the one where we focus more on King Crush, but in this one I'm thinking, okay, if they don't Blood Boil me this turn on turn 5, then if I flood the board and try to kill them, maybe I can do it fast enough, especially with the Observer of Myths. I completely flood the board, go face as hard as I possibly can, and I do end up killing off the school teacher here with my 4-1, I think. No, I decided to go full face, which is actually the correct call. In my head, I'm like, I want to kill off the 4-4, but I'm 90% sure that's wrong at that point. And they have the Hollow Hound on turn 6, of course, and it was pumped up. So basically that whole aggro play is just thrown out the window. Now we're focusing once again on King Crush, and God, I hate the Hollow Hound, especially when it gets pumped up. It's just so strong. They play Lorthamar as well, which is a bit of a problem. I ended up playing my buffed up Hydrolodon and trading in my 7-7 and a 3-3. Actually, no, I traded in both of my 3-3s to get an extra minion on the board. There was no reason to not trade it in there. Unfortunately, Hydrolodon dies, but several of my 3-3s actually live, or 3-1s actually live, which is quite a bit of damage, actually. We do that, then we play Selective Breeder. We wanted to play Selective Breeder after we had played Lorthamar. We held on to it for a little bit, I think, or maybe that was a different game. But a lot of the times into Death Knight or Priest, what you want to do is you want to use the Selective Breeder after you've played Lorthamar, if you can, so that way you can get a buffed up King Crush to help you close out the game. It can be very valuable. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? Don't really have that many plays. Maybe I just play a 16-16 charge minion and just hope they don't have the Titan. Because if they have Primus, we're forked. Instead, they hit me in the face twice. And they gain a bunch of armor and they kill off my 3-1, which is a little bit unfortunate. But my 8-8 still lived, which is nice. And at this point, I'm trying to think about what I want to do. Is there a world where I can play the Discoverer of Myths and potentially get lethal with King Crush by playing Arelon? Because technically he summons a 3, 2, and 4 attack minion, which would give 3 pumps. But I realize that I do not actually have lethal. I take a while to do the math here, bear with me. So instead, I just play Arelon for tempo, I'm pretty sure. Along with the Speaker Stomper to play around a Corpse Explosion if they somehow are able to do something like that, or maybe a Blood Boil. It does play into Soul Stealer a little bit, but I'm just hoping at this point they don't have it. They discover a spell from their deck, but again, it will cost more, and I just tried to put them in as awkward of a spot as I possibly could. They gain more armor with their weapon by attacking twice, but again, my 16-16 seems to be living here, and my 8-8 also seems to be living here. And it also seems like they can't kill my 4-1. I don't think they should have played the 1-mana 2-6 here. Oh, actually they had down with the ship. Okay, never mind. That was the correct play. But anyway, at this point I'm thinking, do I have lethal with the Hollow Hound? If I play the Observer of Myths, Hollow Hound, Banana, and the thing that does extra damage with Cleave, is this lethal? And I'm pretty sure that it is. Let's see if it actually is. I think it is, because I end up winning this game. We trade in with the Rush first, by the way. So that way we can just weaken it to make the Cleave do a little bit more damage. And as it turns out, we're 2 damage short. But we're okay, because if they do happen to wipe our board here with like a Soul Stealer, we can play the Stranglethorn Heart, get King Crush back, and still possibly do at least a decent amount of damage. But yeah, I committed really hard there. I could have probably waited a little bit, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I greeted. I thought I had enough damage. I guess I counted wrong there. And I'm just hoping they don't ever move. You can actually see my face. I'm in my focused position. My hands are on my face a little bit. And I'm like, oh no, deep in thought. They heal up a lot. And at this point, I'm thinking like, my goodness, dude. How are you still at 30 HP? After everything I've done? This is crazy. We get selective breeder. And at this point, I think we just take another king. No, we just have lethal. I'm dumb. I forgot. I actually did have lethal there, and I took a second talking about it, and then I read chat, and they were like, dude, you have lethal. So after today, I am ranked 446 legend, which is a big jump from 1,100 to 446 over the last 5 days. Things are looking pretty good for now.